Do you know if we have another music stand somewhere? There's nothing in back.
You need another stand?
She needs one for him. Megan does for the guitar.
I guess there must be one on the stage. You mind grabbing that? I'm going to start the live stream at 8 o'clock.
Thank you, Brad. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul.
Good morning.
Good morning.
There we go. Come into our house of hope and love, of peace and justice, of wholeness and healing. We welcome the certain and the seeking, the long-timers and the newcomers, the beloved and the brokenhearted, all of you can find a home at Throop, where we go love the world from the heart of Pasadena. And from the heart of our homes, welcome to our friends joining us by live stream. Today, our minister, the Reverend Tara Landers, is away. She will return on September 2nd. My name is Lynn Sexton. I've been a member of Throop for over 10 years. I'm on the pastoral care team, and I assist Reverend Tara when she teaches the lay sermon writing class. Marissa Morrison is our worship associate this morning, and she recently presented her sermon that she wrote during the sermon writing class. And it is a delight to offer this service to you together. If you are new to Throop, we would love to stay connected with you. Please fill out an info card found in the pew. If you are online, kindly sign our online guest book. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you're here. Each one of us is a light in the world. The flame from our chalice symbolizes and reflects that light.
Our time together in worship is intimately connected with our daily lives. As a symbol of that connection, we light our chalice with love, compassion, and justice, and these words from Ellen Hamilton. In faith, together, we light this small scrap of light, the symbol of Grandfather Sun's enormous power, whose energy burns so brightly in these days of deep summer, catapulting the leaves and vines, vegetables, flowers, and fruits to astonishing size, lengths, and heights, spilling over the tops of cages, walls, and trellises, delighting and nourishing all beings. We bask in the warmth and heat of these days, with lightened hearts and quickened senses, in gratitude and in faith. We light a second candle to honor the people and ancestors whose lands we now occupy. The land under and around Throop was once and still is the home of the Gabrielino Tongva Band of Mission Indian people. May this knowledge and awareness lead us into seeking justice and equity for all. We light a third candle symbolizing our watershed, the Arroyo Seco. May their waters continue to nourish life in our communities. We take a moment of silence, holding all of these in our hearts. I invite you to stand and join us in singing Morning Has Broken, number 38 in the gray hymnal.
Morning has broken from the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the word. Sweet the new rainbows unlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness, praise for the morning, sprung in completeness, where God's feet pass.
We invite you to turn to one another in greeting.
Please go ahead and be seated. Oh, you may have noticed it's hot this morning. The worship team will not take any offense whatsoever if you feel the need to get up and get a cup of water or go sit back where it might be a little cooler in back. Whatever makes you comfortable, we understand and we're with you. The lesson this morning. The following reading is really central to all of our UU principles, but I will be using it later to help highlight our third principle of acceptance for one another and encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregations. Please hear the words of Rebecca Ann Parker. Even when our hearts are broken by our failures or the failures of others, cutting into our lives, even when we have done all that we can and life is still broken, there is a universal love that has never broken faith with us and never will.
This morning's pondering is a version of Psalm 23 recast in the language of love, written for a 2017 memorial service in honor of former UUA moderator Jim Key by Kevin Tarsa. May I remember in this moment that love is my guide, always, shepherding me towards ways of openness and compassion. I have what I need, really, with love at my side, above me, below me, in front of me, behind me. Inside every cell of me, love infused everywhere. Just when the weight of the world I inhabit threatens to drop me in place and press my hope down into the ground below me, love invites me to rest for a gentle while and leads the center of my soul into the quiet, still, restoring waters nearby that somehow I had not noticed. And so love, quietly, sets me once again on its tender and demanding path. Even when the walls close around me and the cries of death echo through untold corners, gripping my heart with fear and sadness, I know that all will be well, that I will be well. When love whispers near to me, glints at the corner of my eye, rests with gentle and persistent invitation upon my shoulders. Yes, love blesses me. Even as the sources and symbols of my pain look on, love blesses me from its infinite well. And I turn and notice that goodness and kindness and grace follow me everywhere, everywhere I go. I live in a house of love, love that will not let me go, and I always will. Our musical interlude is Rising Green, number 1068 in our teal hymnals. Feel free to join us in song, but remain seated.
My blood doth rise in the roots of yon oak, her sap doth run in my veins, boundless my soul like the open sky, where the stars forever have lain, where the stars, where the stars, where the stars forever have lain. My hands hold the weavings of time without end, my sight as deep as the sea, beating my heart sounds a washing on a far distant sand. Ringing my song is the wind of my breast, and love blows over the land. And my love, and my love, and my love blows over the land. My foot carries days of the old into new. Our dreaming shows us the way. Wondrous of faith settles deep in the earth, rising green to bring a new day. Rising green, rising green to bring a new day. Rising green, rising green to bring a new day.
Thank you, Megan. This church is our church. We support it through our gifts of time, our gifts of talent, and our gifts of treasure. You can give online. The link is in the order of worship. If you are here in the room, you can place your donation in the offering plate. If you would like your donation to count towards your pledge, please use a green envelope and write your name on it. If you are a first-time visitor, kindly let the offering plate pass you by. Thank you for supporting our life together. The offering will now gratefully be received.
Let all the beauty we have known illuminate our hearts and minds. Rejoice in wonders daily shown, in faith and joy, in love that binds. We celebrate with singing hearts the loveliness of sky and earth, the inspiration of the arts, the miracle of every birth. Life's music and its poetry surround and bless us through our days. For these we sing in harmony, together giving thanks and praise.
In a spirit of gratitude, we lift up our thanks to those supporting our worship service today. Marissa, our worship associate, Brad, our live stream operator, Marissa offering chalice lighting words, and Terrence lighting our chalice, Megan on music, Hillary for administrative support. As we give thanks for this offering and all of the ways we support our Throop community life, say with me, please, the words in your order of service. For the ministries of the church in our community, we bless our offering with love and hope. And now please also say with me our promise to the planet. As members of the family of living beings on earth, we are guided by the Unitarian Universalist principle for respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. With hearts filled with love for it, eyes nurtured by its beauty, and minds ruminating on ways to protect its sacred and scarce resources. We promise to nurture the well-being of all life and of the planet itself. Will you please open your gray hymnals to 352 for our centering hymn, Find a Stillness.
Find a stillness, hold a stillness, let the stillness carry me. Find the silence, hold the silence, let the silence carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony. Seek the essence, hold the essence, let the essence carry me. Let me flower, help me flower, watch me flower, carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony. Find a stillness, hold a stillness, let the stillness carry me. Find the silence, hold the silence, let the silence carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony. I will find true harmony.
For those of us keeping score this morning, I blew right past our responsive reading. Would you like to do it now? Oh, thank you. We're going to do something a little unusual. We're going to go to our gray hymnals. And I'm sorry.
I just need this again now.
I'm sorry.
What's up?
Oh, it's live. The reading I'd like us to read is 568. And Marissa will be reading the words in plain text. And you and I together will be reading the words in the italicized text.
Connections are made slowly. Sometimes they grow underground.
You cannot tell always by looking what is happening.
More than half a tree is spread out in the soil underneath your feet.
Penetrate quietly as the earthworm that blows no trumpet.
Fight persistently as the creeper that brings down the tree.
Spread like the squash plant that overruns the garden.
Gnaw in the dark and use the sun to make sugar.
Weave real connections, create real nodes, real houses.
Live a life you can endure. Make love that is loving.
Keep tangling and interweaving and taking more in, a thicket and a bramble wilderness to the outside, but to us interconnected If you have it, it runs barrels and layers.
Live as if you like yourself, and it may happen.
Reach out. Keep reaching out. Keep bringing in.
This is how we are going to live for a long time. Not always.
For every gardener knows that after digging, after the planting, after the long season of tending and growth, the harvest comes. We return you now to your regularly scheduled service. Oh, sit down. Okay, you're sitting. That's good. Just kind of take a deep breath and kind of relax a little, kind of get yourself comfortable. Take a deep breath in and let it go. And if it makes you comfortable to close your eyes, go ahead and do so, but otherwise just hold a spirit of prayer and contemplation. Please hear the words of Laura Reardon Bernaderi. May we find love in this place, love in our hearts, love for the broken down, love for the lonely, love for those yet to feel whole, love for those in between, love for those out of our reach. May we find love, add love, and be love in this world. We're going to have a couple of moments of contemplation and just let the morning be what it will, but just think of your own thoughts and your own supplications at this time. Blessed be.
Traveling at night, the headlights were bright, and we'd been up many an hour. And through all my brain came the refrain of home and its swarming fire. And home sings me of sweet things. My life there has its own wings. Fly over the mountain, though I'm standing still. The people I've seen, they come in between the cities of tiring life. The trains come and go, but inside you know the struggle will soon be a fight. And home sings me of sweet things. My life there has its own wings. Fly over the mountain, though I'm standing still. Traveling at night, the headlights were bright, but soon the sun came through the trees. Round the next bend, the flowers will send the sweet smell of home in the breeze. And home sings me of sweet things. My life there has its own wings.
Thank you so much, Megan. I just love looking at you guys. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. I don't know about you, but I talk to myself a lot. And every now and again, I catch myself saying, I wish I were home. And sometimes I find that pretty weird, because physically, I am at home. The home I presently love and enjoy. And I think, Lynn, what in the world are you talking about? And then I realize that I am thinking about a home where I grew up, or the place I lived in after college, or somewhere my husband and I lived together. I'm missing a person, a place, or an experience that I cannot possibly experience in reality again because, well, everything changes. In a 2006 For Better or For Worse comic strip, Liz tells her mother how, now that she has settled into her new apartment and new job, she misses so much about her previous home. Her mother, Ellie, tells her, life is never perfect, Elizabeth. There's always something missing. I first saw that cartoon in a daily newspaper nearly 20 years ago. But it has stayed in my memory banks because it puts a finger on something I have felt every time I have moved on before or since. No matter why moving on may be a good idea, no matter the potential for growth and opportunity, there is always something missing. Sometimes you know things that you will miss before you ever leave your current home for a new location. But the poignant ones are sometimes the ones that sneak up on you after you or they are gone. There was a small delicatessen on the outskirts of Plymouth, which was the town where I worked when I lived in Michigan. The building was a standalone diner, a throwback to the 50s, with pie towers at each end of the counter, and hand-printed signs in the window made of turquoise and lime green butcher paper. It was a sunny late fall day, and I stopped in for lunch. I had a bowl of soup and a piece of pie. It may have been the only time I ever stopped there, but it made an impression on my heart. If I had known how many times that memory would be my refuge, how often I would hearken back to that scene in order to experience the stained glass look of the sunlight streaming through those brightly colored signs, well, I would have left a bigger tip. But I thought they had served me lunch. I didn't know they had created a sanctuary. The places we cannot return to, and the people we will not see again in the here and now, still belong to us. The songs we thought we had forgotten return. They exist in the real estate of our heart. They are near enough to be remembered, close enough to bring us comfort, and are on hand in the present to give us courage and inspiration to move forward. You may tell me that this home exists only in my imagination. I am okay with that. A Post correspondent in 1929 quoted Albert Einstein as saying, "I am enough of the artist to draw freely upon my imagination, Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. I am not looking to compare my thinking to Einstein's, but if he found imagination to be such an important tool, perhaps we should consider taking more advantage of it ourselves. Megan sang that beautiful Bonnie Raitt song written by Carla Bonoff, or at least the lyrics, this morning. Home sings me of sweet things. My life there has its own wings. Fly over the mountain, though I'm standing still. That home is not a physical one, but it is not beyond reach. Everything changes. We always think we have time. Nothing is perfect. There is always something missing. But those missing elements live in the home of our hearts. In his article, The Problem with Perfection, psychotherapist and marriage counselor Mel Schwartz states, "The closest thing to perfection is in the ability to be fully present." That sounds right up our UU alley, doesn't it? Being fully present allows us to make the most of all our talents and allows us the best access to the home in our hearts. In his article on predicting the future from the spring-summer issue of UU World, the Reverend William G. Sinkford asks what the new normal may become for our faith. He states, COVID-19 has changed us. Regathering our congregations is a work in progress. Reverend Sinkford notes that Unitarian Universalists must welcome the new reality that we are at another beginning. This is a liminal time between COVID's peak and whatever normal will emerge. So how do we set about building our inclusive, beloved community in the present day? One observation by Reverend Sinkford is that there is a real energy in our regathering and possibility waiting to be claimed. In our lesson this morning, the Reverend Dr. Rebecca Ann Parker reminds us that there is a universal love that has never broken faith with us and never will. The love of the people who have loved you will always be with you. The memory of all that you have loved is as close as your imagination. And you can not only be comforted by these memories, but you can use them to energize you as you help to create our church lives together and our faith in the future. The Reverend Sinkford ends his article by saying that our hope is to be found in answering the call of love, by living as if our deepest yearnings could be fulfilled, because that is the only way they will. Let that sink in. Living as if our deepest yearnings could be fulfilled, because that is the only way they will. What do you want for yourself? What do you want for us? The home we imagine in our hearts and the home we imagine in our future are waiting. If we commit ourselves to being fully present, they are waiting to help energize us and lead us on as we go about answering the call of love. Will you join us, please? Our hymn is number 1014, and the author himself renamed it Answering the Call of Love. Rise if you are inclined and able. Hearts of the Spirit,
faith, hope, and love abide, and so every soul is blessed and made whole. The truth in our hearts is our guide. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one, emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering the call of love. Sometimes we build a barrier to keep love tightly bound, corrupted by fear, unwilling to hear, revealing the beauty we found. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one, emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering the call of love. A bright new day is dawning, when love will not divide. Reflections of grace in every embrace, the fulfilling the vision divine. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one, emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering the call of love. We are answering the call of love. We are answering the call of love.
Stay standing for our benediction. Place a hand on your heart and reach a hand out to someone else in the room or to our live stream folks. Our chalice is extinguished. We carry its light with us. Please hear the words of Eric Williams. The world is too beautiful to be praised by only one voice. May you have the courage to sing your part. The world is too broken to be healed by only one set of hands. May you have the courage to use your gifts. May you go in peace. Amen. Blessed be.
Sunny days and stormy nights and lazy afternoons, and counting castles in the clouds and humming tunes. But somehow, right before your eyes, the summer fades away. Everything is different and everything is changed. If you feel lost and on your own and far from home, you're never alone, you know. Just think of your friends, the ones who care. They all will be waiting there with love to share, and your heart will lead you home. Funny how a photograph can can take you back in time to places and embraces that you thought you left behind. They're trying to remind you that you're not the only one, that no one is an island when all is said and done. If you feel lost and on your own and far from home, you're never alone, you know. Just think of your friends, the ones who care. They all will be waiting there with love to share, and your heart will lead you home. There'll come a day when you're losing your way and you won't know where you belong. They say that home is where the heart is, so follow your heart and learn that you can't go wrong if you feel lost and on your own, far from home. You're never alone, you know. Just think of your friends, the ones who care. They all will be waiting there with love to share,